So now we're starting to feel a little bit more resourceful. And now let's start to clearly define what we're dealing with. What's the problem here? What's the issue? Why can't you just resolve this decision, make it clear right here, right now? And maybe it's because you're afraid of taking responsibility. That's a huge one. Maybe it's because most of the time in your life, you've just, glided by. You've allowed other people to make choices for you in your life. And that's fine, right? Babies can be complacent. Babies really make no choices. They're acted upon. But, then again, I should bite my tongue because they make a lot of choices. They just don't have the same power that we do. And then again, depending on the baby and the mother, sometimes they've got tons of power. But the point is, right, maybe you're someone who's avoided making decisions in your life. You've avoided them because they're overwhelming to you. You have to deal with so many different things, and plus you know that every decision has its consequence. And every consequence has many more implications than you could ever even conceive of. And that's a lot of responsibility, and that responsibility is sickening. Come on, if you've read Sartre, you'll know that, responsibility literally makes us sick. That we're condemned to be free, we're condemned to make our choices in life. But you know what, I want to get you out of that mindset, because I don't think that way. I totally disagree with that. I think that we are blessed to be free. We're blessed to be free because we have situations like this where we can really mobilize support and be our own creators of our lives, right? And again, remember that thing that I told you to remember in the beginning, to have faith, that everything's going to happen for the best, because with that, you are powerful. You can do anything. Because even if you turn in the wrong direction, you're not going to freak out. You're going to know that you have the confidence and you have the ability to turn things to the right direction. And that's the only certainty that you can ever have. Because you'll never know when you roll the dice what they'll turn up as, but you do have the choice to roll the dice. And you do have the choice to roll them again. Let's just say they don't turn out the right way. And you do have the choice to basically deal with whatever they turn out to be. And you do have the choice to know that you can handle any situation that comes your way. But let's get back to it. Okay, so now we have our options on the table, and we've thought about how we can deal with all of the negative consequences. So we've expanded our options. We've found better options for ourselves. Now, at this point, there's nothing I can really do for you. This is the point where you're really going to have to look deep within yourself to know, what do you want? Really, what do you want? And I know you want everything. You want your cake and to eat it too. But really, what do you want? And to help you answer this question again, it's easy to know who you want to be. Do you want to be someone who gives other people love and joy? Do you want to be someone who goes on adventures, goes out into the world and experiences real relationships and real connections with strangers and people that they love? You want to be someone who loves nature, engages with nature, goes out, smells the fresh air, feels the rain fall on their skin, dances in the clouds on a high mountain? Or do you want to be someone who stays in? Do you want to be a scholar? Do you want to be someone who reads and writes and gets deep into works without sometimes ever even seeing light of day? Right? And sometimes you want to be both. I know, I understand that. We all do. But the point is that who do you want to be right now? Make that decision, because it's going to change. Of course it's going to change. And you got to give yourself the freedom to make a decision and to change it. And if you don't give yourself that freedom, well, guess what? Your decisions are going to feel a lot more intense, a lot more heavy. And with that pressure, I would never want to make a decision. So I don't blame you for not wanting to make one. But once we take that pressure off, we can feel with a little bit more levity. Well, guess what? That decision is going to be a lot easier to make. Got it. So now we've worked out these options, and I'll leave it to you to figure out which one you want to do. In fact, I'll give you a second to figure out right now. Go a little bit deeper into it. Eliminate more options, right? And if you can't eliminate more options, create another option, right? If you're someone who has such a difficulty eliminating options because you just can't deal with it, you can't ever make up your mind, well, guess what? You have another option. And that's to synthesize, to integrate, to come up with a new solution. And maybe that's what you've been looking for. Get a little creative. Know that you're creative enough to deal with it. And if you're not, call someone that you know. Call someone that you love and trust and ask them their opinion. Right? And again, I can quote from Sartre here, and he said, well, you are free, now choose. Right? And I totally recommend reading Existentialist Humanism, and I don't have time to get into it right now, but it's a very interesting idea because, I mean, look, the person that you're going to call for help is going to be someone who you've chosen to help you for this particular matter, right? And you chose them, not someone else. You chose Johnny, not Susie, not John, not Mary, right? You chose them. And why did you choose them? Well, you chose them because you already can anticipate the advice that they're going to give you, and that's the advice that you want. That's the advice that you need, so take it. Do it. Just go with it. Surrender. Especially if you have a hard time making decisions, just surrender. Allow someone else to make it for you. Of course, it's not ideal, right? We want to be able to make our own decisions, but if we can't do it, allow someone else to do it for you. And just accept it, because it's going to feel a lot better doing that and feeling good about it than just being stuck up in the heat of going back and forth playing ping pong with your mind for hours and days and months when there's so many more valuable, important things that you can do. Like, for example, learning something new. You'll learn a new language sometimes in the time it'll take you to make a new decision. You can at least learn a poem, and the poems are great. You can share them with other people and spread light and joy. And you can add more light and joy to your own life. Yeah, see, these are important things to think about. Great. So now get in touch with what you want, why you want it, and reevaluate all of your options that are left, and really just choose the best one. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, hold it, and leap. And love your fate. Because guess what? You're going to anyways. You're going to get to that final moment, and you're going to think to yourself, yep, I did it. This was my life, and it was amazing. And have that faith in yourself. Have that faith that it's all going to work out for the best. And guess what? I promise you, it will. Resolve, stick to it. And the only thing I have to add is that when we are definitely committed, something changes. Like, for example, if you've committed to basically giving up an addiction, well, guess what? When that addiction comes back up and the temptation arises, what do? You deny it. You don't think about it. You don't wonder what your alternatives are, because that's what you're doing. You've already made the decision. You've resolved it, right? So stick with it. Think about it like that. And love yourself and love your fate, and much love and many blessings. And let me know what you decide.